Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Gerwin, and let's check out the weekly catch-up. Not doing a chat tonight. It's been a super long week, and I'm only going to be on for a very short period of time. So, yeah, let's get into it and go through what's been happening this week. So we had our live last week, which was really fun. We had a lot of fun last week. That went for about 38 minutes. And the Sunday Night Live prayer last week went for an hour and 15. I think that one's a bit of a record for, actually, no, I think we've done an hour and a half before on the Sunday Night Live prayer, but it was really good. I hope people found it really encouraging. So then I went through, and this week I did an early spring tour of my garden and everything that's growing at the moment. Not that I've been paying a lot of attention to it. I apologise, I'm looking a bit scruffy at the moment. Oh my goodness, I should have put a brush through my hair. Oh dear. Anyway, so I did an early spring garden tour. Yeah, the garden is going really well. I'm really pleased with it. There's a lot of things that I need to work on. I found my first iris today, which I was very excited about. It really brightened my day. We got some rain as well earlier this week. So about earlier in the week we got some rain, and we got a little bit of rain today too. I'm not sure how much yet, so I haven't had a chance to check the rain gauge. Did my first video on feeding the fish, although I think that was actually last week that I did it, but I uploaded it this week because just so much has been happening with the house and the caravans and everything. Then hubby had a car accident, and that just completely derailed most of the week. Most of the week got derailed with the car accident. Between traveling around, getting photos of the vehicle to organise insurance, talking to the insurance. I've been on the phone with the insurance company so many times, it's not funny. And now I ring up and it's like, they put me through to the motor claims and it's actually about the house claim. Well, they put me through to the house claims and it's talking about the motor claim. And I actually managed to make it this week that I rang up at one point about the motor claim. Actually, no, I was ringing up for the house claim, but I got put through to motor claim. So I decided to ask them some questions on the motor claim and then got them to put me through to the house claim, and then got stuff organised with that, with what's happening with the emergency accommodation with the caravans, because our van had to go back, which that went back this afternoon. And we got a second van. Well, it's actually the third van that we've had. So this video here is me going through and doing a review of the new van that we've got. And I should have another video coming out tomorrow doing a review of the van that we just sent back. Both fascinating caravans, and they've both got their good parts and bad parts. So, which you'd expect with all caravans. Nothing's perfect. Very grateful that we had them at all. I did manage to get down to the dam, down to the pond, and actually did a quick update on that. Found that if my plants were out of the water, which is to be expected, because we're in our dry season at the moment. So we're not getting a lot of rain. Everything is looking ridiculously dry. Walk through the paddocks and they crunch. It's never a good thing. Although we've got some rain coming at the end of this week. So looking for every single silver lining that I possibly can. But yeah, that's basically been it. The week has been completely consumed with car accidents, caravans, and insurance. And hubby started a new job. He's actually working at the Stanbroke Abattoir out at Grantham as a maintenance electrician. So he's got his Q fever shot, did that on Friday. That was actually what he was doing. He was going to work when he had the accident. So that was supposed to be the day that he had his induction. And that went pear-shaped in a big way. It was the 21st of September, though. I think it was actually the 22nd. I think I may have the wrong date on that. I'll have to check on that one. Hey, Nettie. Thanks for joining me. I'm actually not staying on very long tonight. I'm just wrecked, and I've got to go do some stuff with Gavin and help him get ready for work tomorrow. You've got a sick horse and kids. So the kids are at mum and dad's as Adam's away. so you can't stay. That's cool. I'm not staying either. No, I'm not actually doing all that well at all, but God is carrying me. So at the moment, I'm holding on to that footprints in the sand, and my feet aren't touching the ground. Just going through the motion, doing what I got to do. Being part of the YouTube community is really helping. Yeah. I got 4 roosters going off now, 2 little ones inside. Oh my gosh. Time for putting them in the pot. So yeah, really excited about hubby's new job. Really grateful that they haven't decided to just go, you can't work now that you've got this whole injury, car accident thing. They actually have held his position. They're looking at it like that he's a really essential employee, which is fantastic. And he's really excited about the culture in the workplace. The last place that he was working at, Tyson was the other meatworks that's here. They do all the big burger patties for McDonald's. Death trap, absolute death trap. I mean, literally, they've got water running through electrical circuits. Shouldn't do that. That's not good. Even I know that. So it's really great that Macca's are using locally supplied beef for their burgers, but their business model is shocking. When an incident happens, they look for someone to blame. They don't look at a way of fixing it. So really dodgy culture within the company. So highly discourage people to working there. Even though it's like 15 minutes from here, I'm still happier with him going to Grantham, which is like a 35-minute drive. But he really is really excited about the culture of the workplace there and just thinks it's going to be absolutely fantastic. He's really looking forward to it and hoping that it's going to be the place where he's had this goal since he started work to actually work at a place for 10 years. And the closest he's got was 8 years. He's done 7 years twice, I think, and then 8. So he's thinking he's got 2 runs of this going left in his working career. I think he's a nut. Love him to bits. But yeah, he's really liking the new job. Not that he's actually technically started yet. He's just had his Q fever and some of the induction done. He needs to do a little bit more of the induction stuff. But apparently they actually, so at Tyson, he had 3 days where he shadowed somebody and basically got told nothing. They had no real safety procedures or anything like that. And Gavin used to work at the brewery at Yatala, so he's used to having really strict policies and procedures on health and safety and all that sort of stuff. And it looks like Grantham, what they're actually going to be doing at Stanbroke is he will actually be shadowing somebody for 3 months. So he's going to be on the day shift for 3 months. Yes, it's an early start. It's like 4 a.m. to 12. Yeah. Not a good time to only have one car. I can get a hire car as part of my insurance, but it's only going to cover me for 14 days or until they settle me. So once they pay out the car. And I've got to say, the whole idea of finding another car is sending my stress levels so far through the roof, it's not funny. It was so hard to find the last car that I found. And even finding this one that's just been totaled. Just trying to find a car that's not been run into the ground in our price range is just, it's doing my head in. Because I'm not really that great mechanically. I'm not too bad. But we've seemed to have had a lot of bad luck with cars. I mean, even with this one that we've got now, the Hyundai, it wasn't looked after all that well. Even though we got it from a dealer and it had a warranty and all that sort of stuff, got the checks done, I've still had nothing but problems with it. It's cost us a small fortune getting it to a point where it's able to be driven safely. So at least now we've got that one, so it's safe to drive. But with the Prado, we'd just gotten power brakes put in it. We'd just got the stereo fixed. We'd just done the timing belt. And they don't take those sort of things into consideration when you get a payout for your insurance. And it could be a challenge. That on top of the whole termite issue and the mold issue, just doing my head in a little bit. Oh, on top of that, I had the goat had pink milk. She's all good now. So she is. I've now taken her away from the babies. So definitely no more feeding happening for Nettie or Bruce. No more milk. They're cut off. But they're like 5 months old. They don't need milk anymore. They just don't. But yeah. So not quite sure what was causing Laura's milk problems with the pink milk, whether or not the kids had been a bit too rough when they were feeding, or whether it was just that she had a mineral imbalance. Not quite sure, but I've increased her minerals and I've taken her away from the babies, and it seems to have all settled down, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, Bomber. I'm not going to be on for long. Really quick tonight because I need to do some stuff with Gavin and help him to not focus on the pain because he forgot to take his lunchtime painkillers. So now he's taking the painkillers, but he's just trying to distract himself until they actually kick in. And having forgotten those painkillers, because he hates taking tablets, he really hates it. But having not taken those painkillers at lunchtime has made it so that he is now aware that his neck is very sore. So I would say he has gotten a measure of whiplash from the accident, which honestly, looking at that car, I mean, that's actually a little bit confusing because it's been reversed. So sorry, shaky hands. I'll pause that. So this is actually the passenger side of the car. Thankfully, I think it would have been a lot worse if it had hit the driver's side. But I would have been very, very surprised if he hadn't gotten whiplash after that kind of accident. Especially considering how minor my last two have been, and I've ended up with whiplash both times. Mind you, my first one was actually a little bit more severe than this. So yes, oh good. Hi, editing another video. Thought I'd jump on and say hi. Hi. Sorry, I'm a little bit down tonight. I'm just not as bouncy as usual. Energy levels are very low. It's been a very, very long week. Mike the coolest caveman. That's a new one. You might have to change your name of the channel. Oh dear. You could just make it wild edibles too. It'd be a lot less confusing. Anyway. So yes, it's been a long week. I'm tired. So I hope everybody's had a better week than I have. And that you have some wonderful plans for this week. But and the other good thing is the new caravan has got a much better bed. It is so much better on my neck and back. So I am incredibly grateful that we have swapped caravans. So yes. I think that's an understatement, Steve. I'm at the point where I'm not feeling very well with it at all. You got the Logan zucchini. That is awesome. Actually, I've got to say, Will It Grow did a live this morning. Oh, it was nighttime for them, but it was the best thing for my mental health. Just joining in on that live, he had me laughing the whole time. At one point, Sheena, Cajun Hydroponics Queen, his partner, jumped up, and as soon as John said something, her internet froze. And he carried on for about 15 minutes saying how Sheena was just so terrified to talk to him that she just froze in shock. It just cracked me up. It really did. It was really funny. And it was really good for my mental health. It just helps you cope with some of the stress that's happening, just looking at the good things that are happening. and having this community to support me and know that you guys are there. Oh, you have a new addition to the channel. That is making a huge difference. An amazing computer tech company in Bendigo fixed Harrison's laptop that had a smashed screen. It's now JA's editing laptop. Lovely. Very nice. Your zucchini was 18 inches long. It was a good live, wasn't it, Walt? It was so good. You have about 7 videos ready to go up in the next 2 weeks. Yep, I will keep a lookout for them. I'm not actually getting onto a lot of stuff at the moment. We've just been running around like absolute idiots. Although I'm actually going to take that off the screen because that's doing my head in a little bit. The new van's actually really nice. It's not quite as... See if I can show you the bed. Oh, that looks like it. And I'll have to do a video on Camplify. Camplify is really handy for finding a caravan. Oh, that's the couch. That's not the bed. But just because I said that the bed was really comfy, that's the kitchen sink. Oh, man, talking about everything but what I'm talking about. Hey, Bibby. Yeah, no, not really. I'm not doing all that well at all. But that is a really comfy bed, and it is much better than the mattress we had in the van that was just taken away today. But oh my goodness, was it a job cleaning out that van? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, before I forget, Ed from Crazy Ed's Homesteads barbecue cook-off is finishing. You've got another 4 days left to do entries for that. Sorry, there's like 56 entries into it so far. There are some really good ones. Tiffany Q2U actually did some really cool ones. She had like a whole heap of shrimp, prawns that she put on the barbecue. Of course, she called them shrimps, but Americans. Gotta love them. So she put all the prawns on the barbecue, and she had some chicken, and she had some steaks and all that sort of thing. It was really cool. Go check out Tiffany Q's video. But yeah, if you haven't made a video entry for barbecue, Crazy Ed's barbecue cook-off, get onto it. Do that quick. And if you've got a milk video to add to my Janderra's milk challenge, actually, I think I've had a few entries this week. Or maybe not. I can't remember when people put them in. Sorry. Because we spoke. No, nothing new since last week. So we had Patriot Homestead put in her simple butter, and Wild Edibles and Mike Caveman put in their making cheese, which was really, really cool. So if you've got a he has got a lot to answer for, hasn't he? Although he has got the whole that's a knife. So yeah, but yeah, no, the shrimp on the barbecue. Oh dear. Anyway. Yeah, you have to go have a look at Mike the Caveman's video, Bibby. It's a special shout out video for you. They're very cute. Very cute little dickies. But yeah, if you've got a recipe where you make milk, pop it up on Janderra's Milk Challenge, and I'll make a point of featuring you on my weekly live. And I'll possibly even actually make a recipe as well and do a shout out video to you as well. I don't know how I'll be able to do that with the Patriot Homesteads video though, because goat's milk doesn't have as much cream as cow's milk. And it would take me 5 days to get cream off 1 litre of milk, and then collecting enough, and then it'd only be like maybe 50 ml of milk from 2 litres of milk. You're right, it's a prawn. It's a prawn. Oh dear. But yeah, so if you've got a recipe, I don't care how simple it is or what it is. Doesn't matter whether it's cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep milk, almond milk, soy milk. I prefer not soy milk because that messes with men's estrogen. Not a good look. And even women should be very cautious on the soy as well, because it does mess with your hormone system. can be helpful for women with that are menopausal. But anyway, see, any kind of milk, coconut milk, almond milk, whatever. If it's a milk and you've got a recipe that you make with it, whether it's whatever it is, so yeah, pop it in the milk challenge. That would be awesome. Just hashtag Janderra milk challenge. The video is here that goes through how it all works. So yeah, anyway, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I mowed the orchard yesterday with a push mower. It's only a 1/4 acre. I'm just watching it in fast motion. I'm getting tired all over again. Yeah, we did that this afternoon. No, that was yesterday. That was yesterday in preparation for the caravan coming. We had to move a whole heap of poles from. There was a big shade structure over the pool at our old house that we had to take down before we sold the property. So he brought that all with us with the view to making a greenhouse or something else out here, which we have put it over the top of the aquaponics. We just haven't got the shade cloth over it yet. We'll have to do that this summer, which we may not get to now with hubby being injured. Anyway, it's one thing when I'm injured, it's another thing when he's injured. Pray for healing and recovering quickly. He does tend to recover quickly. He's got a really strong constitution. Me, on the other hand, I take forever. But yeah, so we had to move all those poles, which was a huge job. Then we had to move a whole heap of wood chips to make room for the van, which again was a huge job and has totally messed up my neck. And then the mowing to make it so that the thing's all good. But milk challenge, agent actually buying some. I can't get agent to buy milk. Yes, her milk cow produces lots of cream, and that is beautiful. I mean, some goats produce heaps of milk, butter, cream, so you can actually, they've got more butter fat in them. My Saanens don't have a lot of butter fat. I believe Nubians and dwarf Nigerians have more butter fat, but the Saanens don't seem to. But I don't think I'd like it any creamier than it is. Their milk's already fairly creamy. I should do a yogurt making video. Yogurt making in a van. That could be a doable thing. But on that note, I am really tired. I need to get some rest. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and all your support. I really appreciate each and every one of you. All of your support and encouraging messages on my videos lately have just been so incredibly helpful, and it just helped to brighten my day and help me to keep going. You got a trip to the osteopath this week to finally get your dodgy hip worked on. Lots of twisted muscles, ligaments that he started to untwist and loosen. Oh, it hurts so much, doesn't it? It's like I'm going to the physio at the moment for my neck. I'm sure it's hurting more now that I'm going to the physio than it was before I went to the physio. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mind you, part of it's I'm doing more as well. So it's like, oh, I think you have some osteoarthritis in there. It's not nice. Not nice. Used water part in your zucchini bread to boil noodles in and to marinate meat. Ooh, interesting. But I would love to stay and chat, but I need to get some sleep. I know it's only 9:15, but I'm so tired. Not sleeping well. Doing too much, ending up injured. I think I need to go find some ibuprofen. But yeah. Potentially bomber, but don't be in a hurry for that. Just gone through hip replacements with my mum, and as much as she's a lot more mobile now than she was beforehand, definitely try to prevent it as much as you can. Take some, she actually reversed the damage in one of her hips, but the other hip was too far gone. She actually has a flat, not a ball joint. So where you're supposed to have a ball, she has a flat. Well, she had a flat. Collagen is really important. So if you can take bone broth, helps to build up your can repair a lot of that damage. I'll check with her on what else she does. She does all sorts of things to help with all that sort of stuff. Oh, nasty, nasty. I mean, Mum's recovering really, really well from a hip replacement, but she has been told she's not allowed to bend her knee above 90 degrees ever again. So it does have a really, really serious long-term complication. And there's so many conflicting stories from different physios. So I think she went to 3 different physios that all said a different thing. And I think there were 3 different doctors that said different things too. But the final on it is she's not allowed to lift her knee and have her hip at more than a 90-degree angle. So we had to change the height of her couches and all the chairs and make sure her bed was the right height and the toilet. And that's nasty, Peter. Thanks for coming, by the way. Yes, I was going, wasn't I, Bibby? Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for cracking the whip and getting me off to bed. You guys have a fantastic night, and I hope everybody's hips are feeling better. Actually, come to think of it, mine's hurting at the moment now too. But I've got bursitis in my hip. It's not a hip replacement required. I just need to get my hip fixed. Oh, it would be. It'd be horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But I'm going to take Bibby's instruction and I'm going to go to bed. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic week. Remember, you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. And we'll catch you in the comments section. Bless you.